This coverage is brought to you in association with Fraser James Partnership, where money matters.
Welcome to Bordeaux's Rugby Roundup. We were at Pointer Park again at the weekend for the second round of the Premier Cup pool game between KELSO from Premier 2 and Morgan from the 3rd Division. And we expected several tries, with KELSO currently playing some excellent running rugby and Morgan containing a number of players who like to run the ball. And we didn't have to wait too long for the first try, 7 minutes in fact on the clock, when Steph Carnegie took a quick tap penalty inside the Morgan half. He was brought down, but scrum half Andy Tate was in support, and coming up on his outside was Phil Hume, and he sauntered in for a try, which he converted to make it 7-0. Na Ione scored a try 5 minutes later, again converted by Hume. The team's top scorer, Andy Haig, was clear here and put a chip ahead to Kieran Wilkinson, but Ross Lemon got back to cover for Morgan. After a series of penalties against KELSO, their former age group international and skipper Chris Black moved the ball wide. It reached fullback Kyle Wright, ricocheted off the leg of Andy Haig, and there was fly half Andy Clark to pick up and go over. KELSO wouldn't have been happy conceding points there, and with the wind advantage were out to score more tries. The scrum was solid, and with some clever interplay in the backs, the third try came, with Kieran Wilkinson giving the scoring pass to Alistair Riley, who glided in at the corner. Hume missed the conversion, but just before the interval, Tate caught Morgan napping with a tap-and-go penalty. Out to Na Ione looking for his second try. He was stopped short, but popped it up to Kevin Utterson, out to prop Frank Young, and he was on hand to get the touchdown and give them their fourth try before half-time. 26-5 at the break then, but KELSO were on the scoreboard just after the interval. Ian Moody enjoying one of his typical runs and taking advantage of poor tackling to run in for a score and put his team into the 30s, with Hume converting. And moments later, he was at it again, coming in at the angle and wrong-footing everyone to stroll in for a brace in the space of just a couple of minutes. Hume put over his fifth conversion to take it out to 40 points to 5, but Morgan weren't going to lie down. They were here to score tries, and on 50 minutes, they got a beauty. Ricky Imrie putting fullback Kyle Wright in for a score in the corner. But KELSO weren't finished either, and on 67 minutes they went in for their 7th try, and it really looked as if Ian Moody would get his first ever hat-trick in his career. But as unselfish as ever, he passed to Gareth Riddle, who had Liam Mitchell outside him, and that was probably the best score of the match. 7 tries this afternoon, very satisfying.
Yeah, it was, and it probably could have been a lot more if we just kept our discipline and kept our control a wee bit. But the game got a wee bit scrappy, and we made 1 or 2 changes, and that got everybody a game. And we've had a couple of weeks off, so it gets us back on the road again and gets everybody a game under their belt.
Playing well, like when we get going and get the ball in hand, we've got great runners out wide, and we seem we can use the ball well, and we can play some good rugby when we want.
And obviously the target is to stay in Premier 2?
That's the target. We've had a good couple of wins in the last previous league games, so hopefully that'll stand us in good stead for getting away to Kirkcaldy. If we get a win there, then things are looking a bit rosier for us.
In other games involving local clubs, Melrose ran in 6 tries at Haddington, including 2 from Callum Anderson in their 36-14 win, and a win next week against Biggar will put them into the quarter-finals. Jed Forrest scored 4 second-half tries to beat Dumfries, while Peebles eventually got the better of DL.
Hi, I'm Mario. Welcome to Peebles Fish Bar.
We believe we do the best fish and chips in Scotland.
And we do delicious pizzas too.
And the best ice cream you've ever tasted.
Come in and see us anytime.
to Premier B, and Selkirk pulled off a dramatic victory at Aberdeen Grammar with a late drop goal by David Cassidy, giving them a lifeline in their bid to stay in Premier 1. That result also helped Gala in their bid for promotion. Gala helped themselves at Burnbrae with 5 points and 6 tries against West of Scotland to complete 6 out of 6 victories for Borders Premier clubs on Saturday. And coach George Graham was delighted.
I thought the boys today generally controlled the game from start to finish. The set piece worked very, very well. I thought the backs were outstanding, but more to the point, I thought our defence was absolutely excellent.
Gala look more comfortable this week in the table, and it's in their own hands now with an away fixture at Selkirk on March the 12th and a home tie against leaders Stirling on April the 2nd. In the National Shield, YM beat Irvine from the league above them, with Sean Desport getting a hat-trick, while Gala YM and St Boswell's go through to the next round of the Bowl, the latter because Broughton withdrew from the competition. In the other matches on Saturday, Langham and Durlston both lost their league games, while Selkirk Youth Club under-18s reached the semi-finals of the National Youth Cup. There are 2 games before next weekend, both in the Border League and both involving Peebles, while next Saturday 6 of our Premier sides take part in the final pool matches in the Premier Cup. The National Shield and Regional Bowl moves into round 2, with that clash between Gala YM and Duns particularly mouth-watering. And there's 2 other games in the National League involving Berwick and Hoyt Lindeen. But that's it for today. Join us again next week.